everybody. We're back on the Cattle Farm Sim 25 simulator. We got all our equipment moved back over to our house. I can't remember if I said anything about it in the last episode, but I looked all over the place for water source, and the only water source that I could find in this map was 162. So that being across the whole map, where are we? That being across the map, just implausible for us. So I put in a water pump that has been drilled into the ground and supplies fresh water. We also already had our watering trailer. We had a bulk trailer with all of our grass tending equipment, and we also had a leased tractor. So my plan today is to actually remow field 94 and get the bales picked up out of that, and then actually take care of it properly and get the yield up better on that. After that, I'm hoping that we have enough money that we could possibly either go ahead and put down the cow pasture. One thing I don't know about the cow pasture is it customizable after it's been placed? Because if that's the case, we don't have to make it huge right now, and we can change it and make it bigger later. But I don't know that for sure. I might try to just sit it down and see if we can't make it the size we want off rip. But for now, we probably need to, one, take care of our field over there, and two, we probably need to look into maybe buying another piece of land, preferably one maybe that's already got canola or something like that on it. I'm thinking we're going to do canola as our cash crop. We might could look and see if somebody's got canola already planted and we could buy the field. Let's do that real quick. So we're looking for canola. 98 has it. 5, 4, 5, and 6. No, just 5 and 6 have it. 48 has it. So 98 isn't terribly far from us. We would have to lease all the equipment to be able to harvest it. It's at 97,000. It's at 4.83 acres. I was really hoping to get a field a little bigger. With that being said, wow, I thought that field would have been bigger. Okay, so that field is bigger. What else? Let's take a look at prices and stuff as far as something good. So canola gets up to $2,100 pretty much. Corn. I know cotton gets up there. Cotton gets way up there too. But cotton, it's double the canola price. Has anybody got any cotton fields near us? There's an 88 up here for 165 grand. 7 and 18 look like they're gonna be cotton. 38 and 79 is gonna be cotton. So, not really. What is this field right here? It's green. Is it peas? No. Spinach? No. We know it's not grass. Soybeans. It's gonna be soybeans. What does soybeans look like? That might not be a bad one to get. Soybeans are right there. So soybeans are actually pretty profitable too. How big of equipment can we get for soybeans? Because that's a good sized field. And that's corn. Are soybeans linked into with the other harvesters maybe? So you got grain harvesters, which soybeans. I don't think I would have called it a grain harvester. Is that the soybean symbol? It is the soybean. Okay, so soybeans is looking like a winner because we can get all different size of heads for soybeans, and we get the normal use of these harvesters here. So I like soybeans a lot. We might be dabbling into soybeans. That looks like a good potential cash crop. The other thing I don't know about soybeans is how often. So you pretty much plant them here, harvest them here every year, and then you've got some months to take care of the crop. So is there anything that we could plant in between, maybe? I doubt it. So pretty much that field alone is going to be soybeans no matter what. We also have, looks like a month and a half to maybe buy that field we were looking at. For 122, we almost got it. So there's that as well. That could be a really good field for us to use as cash crop. We are going to need storage. Unless I just make all this in this bottom corner storage. Well, then that kind of cuts into my plans of having a big cattle farm. Because I'd like to have at least probably 500 or so. That would be cool. But I don't think this is going to be the space for it. We might could start like a 250 herd here and then get another 250 herd going somewhere else maybe. But like I said, I've never done cows. I don't know a lot about cows. Is that a cow barn right there, or is that a horse? This looks like, I don't know. I don't like that it doesn't tell me what it is unless I like bought it. This look like horses. I think this is a horse. I'm fairly certain that's horse. What is this? I don't know what this is either. I've never seen this one. This might be pigs maybe, because of how small the door is. Maybe chickens? I doubt it's chickens though. I'm thinking pigs. So we need to go ahead and start on our quote unquote chores. We need to go ahead and get the grass cutting again, because somebody didn't save last time and now everything needs to be redone. What I'm gonna do is just drive the worker over here and go ahead and get them working on cutting that grass. We I'm gonna have to lease. Oh, another thing was contracts. Would it be more beneficial, which I'm thinking it's going to be, is to go ahead and do some mowing actually. Baling ain't really worth, well, baling could be worth it too, because all we gotta do is bale it. So we could do some baling contracts and some mowing contracts. 46 is way over there. Like I said in the last episode, we are going to be doing some contracts just to keep us afloat. And I said that we could not borrow the equipment. So if we don't have the equipment on the farm to do it, we can't do it. So mowing is one we can definitely do. Baling is one we can definitely do. And that's basically all I'm going to be interested in doing. Hopefully with these two mowing contracts and these two baling contracts, we might could get like a fertilizer of some sort. So we need to actually, let's accept the mowing contract. It's 46, it's across the map. It's the only downside so far. So let's see, if I do you, create a job, go to, and we want you to go here. Start job. Target is unreachable. It doesn't look under. Well, we'll just drive it over there. We're going to drive this tractor over here, and then we're going to jump back over here to our spot and probably hook up the baler and go do those 2 baling jobs. We'll be back in a second. All right, we are back here. We're going to get this worker going. We're going to start with the up and down. Maybe the headlands won't cause too much problem. Hit H there. Jump back over to ours. We'll drop off this trailer. Go grab this. Ooh, we already had the trailer backed off, dropped off. We're gonna go grab this baler, and then I'm gonna drive over to whichever one of these baling contracts is the closest and take care of that real quick. So, contracts. We're looking for baling. We're gonna go to 114. It's just on the other side of the store, and 97. So they're actually both pretty close. We'll do 97 first since that one's a little closer. And then we'll do 114 after we finish that one. I'm gonna drive over there and then we'll look into that in a second. All right, we're back here. We're gonna go ahead and get this stuff baling up. So we're gonna lower. Automatic drop is on. We're going to turn on the baler. We'll probably knock this one out ourselves. We're gonna start with the headlands. And we're gonna start baling up this hay. We'll see how many bales we end up with once we get done. We'll be back in a second. All right. We are back. We got that first baling contract done. We had to get a mod real quick to unload our bales so that we could start baling this land. It won't let you mix your products. No, it still says we don't have access. Do they want square bales? Please press square bales on specified field. Oh. Well, we can't do you. Yes. Okay. We can't do that one. We don't have a square baler. I might let that live there for the rest of its life. Bye-bye. Alright, we're going to drive back to our land. I'm going to check on this mower in a few minutes. And I might take over that contract and get that one knocked out a little quicker because it's taking a while. After that, we'll probably take care of our own field with the mowing, tedding, rolling, and baling. And then I want to actually make sure we can fertilize and do all that good stuff. So I'll be back once I get over to the mower. I'm gonna go ahead and take over this contract that they seem to be struggling with. I'm not sure why they decided to start doing the headlands like that. I guess that was a mistake on my part to not start with the headlands. Turn around. We're going to go ahead and knock this contract out, drive over to our land, and start working on mowing our grass. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, we got that we got that grass cutting contract done. We're going to drive over here to our land real quick and get our grass cut so that we can ted and row it. I've already got the other tractor set up with both the tedder and the rower on it to drive it over to our land. So what I'm going to do is do the headlands on our field, because if you don't do the headlands, evidently the workers just get confused and it's not pretty. That field was tore up. So I'm going to drive back to our land, do our headlands, and I'll be back. Alright, we're back. I did forget to mention I ended up getting some of those subsidized signs for our field just to maybe help us out a little bit. I've got them on the lowest setting, which is like $4 grand a month, and we've only got 2. I don't foresee that being anything game breaking to make it too easy for us. So we're going to try that out too. Eventually, I'm hoping we're going to be doing well enough where we can get rid of them. But who knows. So we need to unfold, lower, cut that on. We need to unfold, lower, and cut that on. Now, maybe we can get the headlands done right. And then once we get the headlands taken care of, we can hire a worker to do the ups and downs. We'll be back once we get the headlands done. Alright, we just kicked the worker off. We're going to jump over here into our tractor, or other tractor. As you can see, I've already got the tedder and the windrower hooked up. We're going to drive on over here to our land. Oh, something else we got to do. We go to our contracts and collect and collect. Collect. Alright, there, it went away. That was gonna bother me if it didn't go away. Anything else? We might could do these fertilizing jobs too, once we are able to buy a fertilizer. We made about 15 grand, so hopefully we can find a fertilizer for about 15 grand. I don't see why we can't. I don't know much about fertilizers though, so they might be more than I'm thinking they are. Fertilizer spreaders. So this one's got a 14 meter, 42 meter. I'm thinking we're gonna go with the old basic. So what is that? That's lime. I don't think we've got lime right now. So is that just regular? That's solid, it's not liquid. Okay, so solid fertilizer's cheaper than liquid fertilizer. All right, so we're gonna grab that, we're gonna grab that, we're gonna buy it. It holds 300 liters. Oh, wow. So since that was so cheap, let's go ahead and buy our front end loader. I don't know what the difference between these two are. We'll go with the cheaper of the two. Let's paint it green to go along with our tractor. No, I can go back to color it was. Alright, so we're going to buy that. And we're also going to go ahead and buy pallet forks. So front end loader, pallet fork. The reason we're doing that is so that once we pick up that fertilizer spreader, we can go ahead and fill it up, and then I don't foresee the fertilizer running out. We'll be able to pick it up with our forks and drive around with it with the tractor and keep our fertilizer full. Oh boy, we didn't see that. We're a lot longer than I thought we were. Alright, I'm gonna get over there to our field. I got to figure out which is which again. I'm pretty sure the tedder is on the front, which it is. So we'll get over there and start tedding. We'll be back. Better yet, we're already here. We're not gonna be back. We're right here. So something, we might need to upgrade our mower sooner than later. It seems to be doing fine now, but I don't know what it is about our setup. So we need to drop the windrower. We're gonna drive over here and drop the tedder. I'm gonna pick up the tedder on the back. We are going to unfold the tedder. clip our sign apparently. Steering assist, number of headlands is okay. We're going to turn it on, lock in our steering assist. Probably need to lower it so it actually does what we want it to. We're going to just kind of drive along and do this while we keep an eye on the mower. They should finish up pretty soon. We'll be able to, once they finish up, we'll probably tell the tedder to start working and we can grab the mowers and take them back to the house. And then we're going to need to grab the baler. So that's something we'll probably grab. I need to remember what I did with the baler. I think it's back at the house. Oh yeah? And that's how we're doing? Just take over the whole field. Alright. Looks like he's got one more pass to make, and then he'll be done. Tedding's a lot easier than mowing. I don't have to be nearly as precise with the tedder. I enjoy tedding a whole lot more. I thoroughly enjoy grass cutting in this game. But tedding and windrowing is where it's at for me. I really enjoy it. So, with that being said, we're going to knock out this headland, get the worker going on the tedder, and then we will be jumping back into it once we are driving the mowers back to the house. Alright, we're back in the mower tractor. We need to fold you up. Need to lower and turn you on because they missed a little spot. Unfold. Go by the house real quick and pick up the baler. By the time we get back, I'm sure the tedder will be pretty much done. And then I'll be able to hook up the windrower and take the tedder back to the house. Maybe. See how they do. I need to grab the baler while I'm home and bring that over. Pretty sure I parked it over here. I don't remember for sure. Yeah, there it is right there. Alright. Once I get the baler back at the field and start windrowing, I'll jump back in. Alright, we got the baler here. Go ahead and grab the windrower like I was saying and start the headland on the windrower. So by the time the tedder finishes, maybe we'll have the headland finishes. That way I can go ahead and take back the tedder and we can go pick up the fertilizer, and that way we'll be ready to fertilize our field. Unfold. Lower, turn on. We're going to do steering assist, okay, H, drive. We're going to make sure we get that clump of grass right there out of the driveway. I'll make sure to get that real quick. Tedder's making good work. Like I said, it'll be probably finished about the same spot as it was when we finished with the mowing. So we're making pretty good efficiency in my opinion, I think. So once I get done with the headland and switch over to the tedding tractor, I will hop back in. Alright, kicking off that worker. Tedder finished. Going to run the tedder home real quick, and then we're going to go pick up the fertilizer. Maybe by the time we get back with the fertilizer, the windrower will be done. We can go put the windrower up and start the baling process. After that, I don't really know what else. We might not lime. I think liming helps with yield. We probably won't lime this year. I don't know if cultivating helps. We might need to cultivate the field before we put the fertilizer down. I'm just not real sure about how to get the yield up as good as possible with what we are working with right now. Also need to make sure I get the right tractor, which this is the right tractor, because the other one doesn't have the front end loader on it. So we're going to drive over here once we drop this tedder off. Stop. Stop. Okay. We're going to go grab the fertilizer and then drive back to our field. Alright, we're here to pick up the fertilizer. We're also going to pick up the front end loader and pallet forks while we're here. And we also need to pick up some fertilizer while we're here. Because knowing me, I probably almost left without it. Alright, so store. We need consumables and we need solid fertilizer. We're gonna buy one. There should be 1,000, so I know our fertilizer can't hold all that. We had our pallets in the floor. It's not letting us drive very well. So we need to refill. We're full. Gonna grab the pallet with our forks. Alright, now we got our fertilizer chain going. I'm gonna drive back on over here to the field. Alright, we're back at our field. I'm just doing a little U-turn in the neighbors. We are going to hit G to drop our fertilizer. We're gonna leave the fertilizer on the front. We're gonna grab this baler real quick and start baling. Almost. Alright, so we want the biggest bales possible, which we've got already. We're going to lower it. We're going to cut it on. We're going to scoop up all this right here. I'm going to back up. And then we're going to start baling the actual field. Once we get the other tractor drop off the windrower, I need to look at cultivating. Do we need to cultivate and replant this to get the yield better, or can we just fertilize it and that'll get better? I'm thinking we can just fertilize it because it's already grass planted here, but I really don't know. So I'll be back once this is done. Okay. So evidently you cannot use a worker for baling. I did not know that. So baling is always going to be a manual process. To remember that for future reference. To know, make sure everybody else is automatic so that we don't have to do this. Darn, we left some behind. And we got it. Alright, getting our last little bit right here. We ended up with actually 5 bales of hay. Or, yeah, bales of hay. That's what we are. I'm a little surprised. I was not expecting 5. But that's what we got. Alright, what I'm going to do is pick up this little bit of scraggler. Every little bit counts. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to drop the baler off right here. And we are going to go grab the fertilizer. And hopefully we can use a worker to get the fertilizing done. Hopefully he doesn't drop our front loader, but we will see. So let's go and do AI worker. We can, I would assume we can trust him with the headland, but we're gonna not and just say do the ups and down first, and we'll do the headland if we need to. So we're gonna kick him off. Blocked by an object. That's probably talking about the front end loader. That's what I was worried about. So we are going to do this. Gonna drop the fertilizer off. And then we're going to drop the front loader off. And now we're going to come over here and activate the worker. We're going to take this stuff back. I'm hoping that's enough fertilizer to do that little field. I don't really know. And I'm hoping that's the correct steps we need to be taking in order to get more yield, is just fertilizing it. I'll have to think about, I don't think cultivating does anything for yield. But I don't really know. If anybody knows, please tell me how to get my yield up, because that's not the biggest field, and that's going to be our main food supply for our cattle for a while, probably, until we can get more fields. So if you know, please leave me a comment, let me know. And we're going to drive back and forth a couple times, putting our equipment up like it needs to be, and then we'll be back at the fertilizing tractor. Alright, so I'm back to pick up the baler. I want to look at our field management. So if we go to fertilize, you can see that it's turning blue, so that's a good sign. It does not need lime. I don't think we're doing rolling. I think I got rolling turned off. So it looks like we are doing everything we can for maximum yield, which is good. I forgot we had to pick up those bales. That might be a problem in a second. Need to pick up the bale trailer on the way back. Knowing the worker though, he's just gonna plow right into the damn bale. Alright, we're gonna drop this off right here at the house. Might bump over our porch a little bit here. Or not, because we're not strong enough to do it. There we go. Got an achievement for something. Pick up the old bale trailer. I'll grab those bales and then we'll be back. Alright, I'm back picking up this last bale. Our fertilizer has run out of fertilizer, so I need to get him topped back off. Once I get done with this, I'll probably manually do the rest of it just so I can drive around with the front end loader and the fertilizer on the piece of equipment. Oh boy. So, to figure out what was left to do on this, we can do that by going here and clicking here. So it looks like he just had a little bit of a streak left. So this fertilizer is almost big enough to do this whole field, which is good to know. I wasn't sure, but we definitely have enough fertilizer. I'm gonna refill real quick. Okay. It did not look like it filled anything, but apparently it did. So we're gonna pick up our front end loader. We're going to switch over to that so we can pick up our fertilizer. And then, like I said, it looked like all we had left to do was fertilize this last little bit right over here. Which should be this row right here. As you can see, we missed a little bit right here in this corner. I'm not too terribly worried about. For the most part, we've got the whole field completely fertilized now. Alright, so we are going to jump in the tractor with the bale trailer, drive that back home, and then we'll jump back in this one and drive this one back home, and then we will figure out what we're going to be doing next. I'll be back. Alright, so we're back here. We're going to drop off this fertilizer right here. We are going to drop off the fertilizer spreader right beside it so that next time we grab it, we can refill and take off. Alright. Next, I think what we want to do, or I want to do, is we're going to put down some greenhouses. We've been talking about doing that for a while now, just hadn't done it. So I think now's any better time is any other time, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I don't remember greenhouses. So this makes mushrooms apparently. This makes everything else. Let's look and see what would be. This is just purely going to be making us money. So with that being said, I don't even see mushrooms. Looks like it's in alphabetical order, so I would think mushrooms. Wow. Those mushrooms are pretty high. What else can we make? So, P, construct. So that was those. I wish you could click these and know what they are. Okay, so that was one mushroom. The other mushroom is right here. So that mushroom ain't as good as this other mushroom, which was right here. And then we also saw that there was chili peppers is about 1,500. Strawberries, I think, was one of them. Raisins, maybe? I don't think so. I don't think raisins, no. Tomatoes. Strawberries. I'm thinking we're going to go with one of those mushrooms and grow oyster mushrooms. Never done that before. So let's go in and construct. And we're going to build this $36,000 greenhouse. Wow. It's big. This looks like the back. I might turn it sideways because we're going to need to be able to put the waterer to it. So something like that. Yeah, that was good because this is where you'll pick them up at right here. So now that we've done that, let's do a little bit of painting. Is that the same? No. That is. So we're gonna increase that size a little bit and just kind of color right here real quick. So maybe that one I am thinking of this one greenhouse will be good enough to keep us afloat. With that and the sub-series we got going on, we should be okay. All right, hopefully that's pretty soft. We can drive on it. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Unfortunately, it made a hill on our flat earth. I don't know why it couldn't just put it in there nice and neat, but that's all right. That's pretty easy to drive on. Might be a pain in the tail to get pallet forks under it, but we'll tackle that once we get there. We want to grab this waterer. We should be able to fill this waterer. Because what this little water pump thing does is over time it creates water. So it's not like a always constant supply of water. We will have to wait for water. So I didn't feel like it was too game breaking because of that mechanic. So, I mean, we've been going for a couple hours now, and it looks like it's going to actually fill this up, which I was not expecting. What in the world we got going on here? I need to... What is going on? What was that? I don't know what that was. Alright, so we need to get the trailer over here. Maybe we can make a U-turn here. Maybe. It's gonna be close. Not close enough. Alright, so with that being said, we fortunately left us enough room to do this. Oh boy, I didn't see that. Try to make it, alright, there we go. Alright, so we might have to figure out something to do with that. That was a pain in the tail. But hopefully once we fill this up, we won't have to do it for a while. I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know if it's going to hold all this water. If it does, we'll probably refill the trailer and do it again, and then we'll be back once we get done with that. Alright, so the greenhouse only took a trailer and a little bit. So that's good to know. Which means our water supply is going to be more than enough to take care of that. So with that being said, we need to get over here and figure out how to get the production going in this thing. There should be a button somewhere. Oh, we gotta go inside. So how do we get inside? Oh, like that. Alright, so we need to come on over here. I'm gonna do R for manage. And the oyster ones were the good money. So we're just gonna make sure to activate those. And storing, I do believe. Selling, we don't want it to sell. Distributing, we don't want it to distribute. We want it to store, which means I'm pretty sure that the pallets will be coming out right here. Also, I forgot to look at, let's see how much water we're going to be consuming. So one water is 3 of those. So we've got 21,000 liters of product we can have before we have to refill that. So with just a little bit of a quick math, 21,000, we're doing those. We probably won't sell them until around December, January. So 21 times, wow. So it's 2,900 every 1,000. So yeah, so 2931 times 21, that'll be 61 grand every 2 months or so. So that's pretty good. So with that being said, we've got 4 bales of straw. Could we possibly look into putting down a cow farm or cow pasture? So the cow pasture alone is 15 grand. There are too many animal pens. Please sell some first. Okay. So there's too many animal pens apparently. We might have to fix that. So I'm gonna figure out how to fix that and then I'll be right back. All right, we're back. I had to go on kind of a big selling spree. Unfortunately, I had to sell all this stuff and I had to sell all of this stuff somewhere over here. But to do that, I had to buy the properties and sell all the placeables. So it's pretty empty looking over there. I was able to figure out how to put down the cow pasture, so I did that. So we've got a nice, good size pasture that kind of goes around all of our land. But with it being as big as it is, I would have expected more cows in here. But apparently, hold on, get on top of this, I can show you a little better. So there's our fence line. It goes all the way over there to the trees and comes back. It costs us quite a bit of money. It costs us like 49 grand or something like that to add all the fencing and stuff. So that's where we're at. I think next episode we're going to start off by getting some cows and learning how to take care of said cows. I am going to go ahead and unload these bales right here, which means we're going to need a bale fork. So that is something else we're going to have to learn. And then we should be able to use that hay inside of that. I want to try to test that real quick, just so that I know for sure that that's right. If not, we're going to have to figure out what food. I know like during the winter months, they can just eat the meadow grass. So now that that's unloaded, we want to do what? What are we doing? There we go. Wow. And once that's done, we can put the arm back up. So in order to test this theory, I think I'm gonna just activate super strength real quick and throw some food there and see what happens. So here we are with our bale. Going to carry it on over here and see if we can't throw it in here somehow. Yeah, you can see the food going up, so that's good to know. So next episode, like I said, we will be getting cows, probably a handful. I don't know, maybe whatever 30 grand can buy us. And then after that, we can go to sleep and gain a little bit of money back. And then we will have to tend to the greenhouse. We will not have to tend to our field, I don't believe, but we will have to figure out how to take care of these cows better. I think we might need to wait a month for the meadow to grow, because right now it says the meadow's at 0 liters. So we might sleep. Let's go ahead and sleep. We'll go ahead and sleep real quick, and then we'll see how everything looks when I get back. All right, so we slept. Looks like we got about $5,500 total from all the little bit of things that we got helping us. I feel like that's pretty good. Looks like the meadow's up to 36,785, so that's good. I'm glad we didn't throw cows in there. They would have been hungry. Looks like we got one pallet of mushrooms already. How much does this weigh? That weighs 1,000. So each pallet will be 1,000, which means we're going to need to get a trailer that we can transport those pallets on. We'll probably get a little rinky-dink trailer with the money we just earned. Hopefully 5,000 will grab us one. We will need to check on our other field, which we should be able to do that from here. Should show, there should be a growing button. Yeah, so green means growing. Does that mean it's ready to be harvested already? Let's hop over here and look. No, growing. Our yield bonus is plus 87%. That's good. So I think that'll be pretty much all we do to that field for now. Knowing that we've got plenty of hay and plenty of meadow means that we shouldn't need a ton of hay. So we'll probably cut and manage that as we need it. So the next thing we really need to be working on is trying to buy this field before it gets sold. So what I might do is take out a loan in order to buy that field so that we can harvest the soybeans and stuff in order to take care of that. We'll be able to look at contracts. There should be some new ones. Like this mowing contract looks nice. And that mowing contract looks really good. Spraying, we don't have anything. We don't have any fertilizing we might could take care of. Maybe that 99 since it's not across the map. But I don't really know if that would be worth it in my opinion, because it's going to cost us almost that much probably to do it. But as I said, we'll do all that in the next episode. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my video, and I hope to see you in the next one. If you're enjoying my content, make sure to leave me a like and a sub. It really helps the channel out, and it lets me know you're enjoying my content. And if you can think of anything that I can do to improve or make my farming experience easier, please leave me a comment. It helps me out a lot because I'm still learning as I'm going along. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.